Skis. All right,
We
we're live,
live,
pal.
pal.
All right, so y'all know what it is. That's not what we wanted to hit.
Welcome.
Yo. What's going on? It is Idamos High, my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. We got a residual cast member coming around here.
Day
It's your
one.
boy, Day One Cousin Rich. My
Yeah,
niggas, Richie Uso in this
Rich
motherfucker.
Hughes.
I'm feeling real.
we
feeling real
real Uzi in the
Yeah,
we
I'm feeling
real
real
Uzi in this bitch.
Real Uzi in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But y'all know what it is, man. It's the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. I won't step on Chidi's line, so go ahead and kick that shit off, brother.
You the mouse high. I'm Chitty Bang. We Wrestling Podcast, the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. If you don't know, now you know. Thank you for joining us. We're here to talk the week that wasn't professional wrestling. But before we get into that, hop on Twitter and follow us on RW Podcast One on Twitter.
Yes,
Definitely check us out on Reasonable Wrestling Podcast on IG. We even got
absolutely.
everything underscore is wrestling at IG. Check it out. And if you want to check out our merchandise and get this hoodie, fire ass Royal Rumble, everything is wrestling hoodie. Check
Come
it out
on.
there on
Listen,
eiwshop.com and get that. Pretty much on all medias of socialness, just search Reasonable Wrestling and you'll find us. But we're here to talk the week that wasn't professional wrestling. Where do you want to start off? Because I mean, it's been a pretty good week. We had the pay-per-view. We came on here and talked about this past weekend of War Games. Everybody's been like applauding it. It was a great show.
I'm I'm
Um,
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this real dramatic, right? I'm gonna do this like Shane Douglas MJF style. You see this WWF title, WWE title? Toss it to the side. You see this WWE? Toss it to the side. No WWE merchandise while we talk about the great AEW. Let's go ahead and start
okay.
off and kick the show off with what AEW happened last night. I was very intrigued. I called Rich. I talked to Rich. I was like, "Yo, nigga, if you don't watch no other night, brother, you gotta watch tonight. It's MJF first appearance as champion. Gotta see what this nigga talking about." You know what I'm saying? He already knew the backstory, what was going down with the title and everything like that. So that's not what kicked off the show. What kicked off the show was Mox. If I'm not mistaken, and Mox comes out and without the title, he pronounces that he's the biggest and baddest motherfucker in this game, and there is not nobody in this locker room, on this earth, in this arena, in this town, in this city who can look him in his face and tell
Talk your
him
shit,
that he
Mox.
is not the shit. Adam Page came out and popped the fucking crowd. Everybody was surprised, like, "Oh, is he cleared? Is he for physical activity?" And that nigga Mox triggered my nigga. He was like, "You sure you want to do this after the last time you was in the ring with me?" And my nigga Adam had no words, just jawed that nigga. Then they went at it.
Mm.
They went at it, my nigga. And I want to say this is one of the most intensified feuds in pro wrestling right now. It has a ton of fucking backstory. It has a ton of meaning behind it. It has a ton of substance behind it. And last week, where I said that I was invested in Moxley, I kind of wanted to see what that pivot was, what that shift was, what that was going to be. And he came out and was like, "Look, man, title or not, backstab or not, I know I'm still the baddest motherfucker in the planet." And that nigga Adam Page was like, "Dog, I don't know about that." You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, listen, all the physical attributes in the world, Adam can go. Adam got the size. You know what I'm saying? Adam really can, like if you want to go at it and brawl, like I think he really got the hands to do so. So with all that being considered, this is a really great
You know,
test for Moxley and Adam Page right now. With
Well, here's what I would say.
As the two baddest motherfuckers in the AEW.
And here's what I would say. When it comes down to Adam Page, you know, from where he started with AEW, that he's been was like the flagship guy, you know, coming from New Japan, and they were kind of building it around him at first. Didn't win the title for a while, and he had to earn that shit. Finally became champion, and then he loses to CM Punk. You all know what happened with CM Punk. And then he went to tournament to get a chance back to fight for the championship again, while Mox was holding the interim championship. Now, Mox the entire time was big broing him, you know, during that angle, you know. So and they've had their match in the past, and then he obviously had the injury, which was, you know, it could have been a lot worse, and we're thankful that he's healthy, because that looked really he got hit with that lariat, landed on his head, and they ended the match. So that has a built-in story already. What I like about this, because I thought Mox was going to take a break after the whole losing the title. Just Mox ain't that dude. He's gonna still fight. You know, he's still around. And what I like about this is it's a great way to reintroduce Hangman, and maybe Hangman finally get that victory back and finally get over the hump of that main event. You know, it's kind of been like this main event stigma with Hangman Page, because he was champion for so long, had one of the greatest reigns, but it feels like he's not getting the respect he should have gotten for that. And then CM Punk comes and, you know, he gets the star, you know, potential, takes the title from him. And then you get John Moxley, big bro, on him saying that, listen, you ain't all that. And listen, Hangman's like, listen, with my mental health and everything I've been through, you're not going to come in here and tell me who I am as a man. So them, you know, brawling, I'm interested to see where it goes. Well, in the meantime, that leaves MJF to be champion on his own. So, and we'll see where that goes, you know, but, and that takes Moxley away from MJF, which is cool. And we get to see another impactful main event angle on a Dynamite. We'll see where it goes.
And speaking of that, you know, we already know where MJF's, you know, first opponent will be at Winter's Coming, and it's Ricky Starks, you know, the undeniable, undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Like he is without a doubt one of the futures of professional wrestling, alongside of, you know, MJF. You know what I'm saying? As far as like talents that we tune in to see. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
With that being said, like you said, we have the ability for Mox and MJF to kind of be away from each other, with still having some ties to one another. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. Being that now, Rich, did you see the AEW yesterday?
I did.
All right. What takeaways did you have from it?
The very beginning, the very end. Jade, of course. And it was a few other highlights during the course of, but again, the main things for me that stood out for me was how they started the show and then how they ended it. I thought I did thoroughly enjoy the MJF promo too, which I thought was fucking brilliant. When you talk about grade A heels, and we talk about it all the time with you know, the guys in WWE. I hate to bring in the Cross brand, but you know, we talk about the guys over in WWE that are just like the it guys as far as the heel. MJF, man, like he is the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? And that promo, I know he does it every
pun intended.
week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know he does it every week that he cuts a promo, but it's like every time that I see him, it's like, yo, he continues to prove, like, nah, as far as being the bad guy, yo, I'm him. Like, there's no way.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because that segment, it stuck out to me too. Because I mean, that's pretty much one of the only segments I watched of the night, because I was in and out. But I would say this about MJF's reign. I want him to have a long reign, because if you're giving a heel reign, let them have a long reign. You know, I don't think that Daniel Bryan should be his first opponent, and we're gonna get Ricky Starks obviously first. So we already talked about how Ricky Starks is a great, charismatic, upcoming star, and MJF calling him out, saying he's a fake star. I love already where it's going. Production wise, setting this up, this first promo was great, establishing him as a heel, throwing away the title, bringing the Burberry belt. That was awesome. Nice touch. Now, the whole thing with Regal, I think, was a little bit off for me.
I seen
Only-
that shit. I seen
Exactly.
it. Oh man.
You saw it coming a mile away. And
Yeah.
So it was a little telegraphed. I would have liked an explanation from Regal for why he did this. And we still haven't gotten that. Like, from Regal, why did you turn on Mox? You know, from your own standpoint. Before we get the turn on Regal from MJF, Regal to show why he's behind MJF. And then they're walking up the ramp, or they get to the top of the ramp, and then he hits him out of nowhere. It would have made for more of an impact, because if Regal establishing himself as the manager of MJF, and then out of nowhere, he's like, listen, I don't need this old man. You know, that's what I would have done. But because we saw it a mile away, while Regal was just standing there awkwardly in the corner, holding the mic, didn't say nothing. He's calling out the Blackpool Comic Club, calling out Daniel Bryan and Moxley and all that shit. And he's just looking at him. And then he puts on the freaking Nux right in front of his face and walks behind him. I'm like, yo, Regal, you know what's about to happen. You know, you of all people, you know, should know. But other than that, I think this is a good way to establish him as, you know, bona fide heel. And I think this is where I thought it was going to go. And that's my only thing from this whole thing, is that my vision of what I would have done with MJF would have taken a little bit more time for him to get the championship and still be heel. Because I would have seen this. I wanted to see a double turn. I'm not sure, because Chris knows, because I talked to him about this. At Full Gear, I wanted to see Moxley use the Nux to take out MJF, because the whole thing was like MJF is going to, you know, win fairly, and then he get a chance to take the ring and do it, not do it. Regal gives Moxley the Nux, he knocks him out, and he's like, listen. And the fans were already chanting for Moxley. I mean, for Moxley to lose. Like, they were booing Moxley the whole match. They were chanting for MJF. It would have been a great double turn to make him a babyface. And then down the road, even it doesn't have to be too long, even you can still have MJF really show his true colors and get his heat back. But bringing him full circle and getting the championship. But with this being said, it's MJF, man. He's the best heel in the business. Like you said, he's the pinnacle. He's the best heel in the business, in my opinion. I think pure heel, but he's becoming, and that he's finding that teeter of like, people like you, they love to hate you, but they kind of like you because you talk that shit. So I want to keep him. I want to make him a face so when he's a pure heel again, it's a pure heel, you know.
Go ahead, Chris. I know you got something to say, because I had a rebut, but I want to hear what you say.
No, I was pretty much just getting ready to say, like, as I'm listening to you guys talk about you know, the transparency of the angle, and speaking about the lack of kind of like edge that we were riding, of kind of like trying to find that roller coaster speed. I think in the grand scheme of it all, the Blackpool Compact Club was also deteriorating in itself, right? I think for the most part, like, you saw things within you know, with Wheeler Yuta, Brian Danielson, you know, Claudio Castagnoli right now is like, he's on his own mission right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was never the most tight knit of unit, but there were always cracks to be like, hey, this is not going to last long. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, in combination with Regal, Moxley, and MJF, I think the story of Regal telling MJF that he's not a star was always going to be the reason why Regal never stayed around MJF. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of, villain origin story that we talk about all the time with MJF, that never necessarily is going to go away from him. So even as telegraphed as it seemed to be, it was only right. It was only fitting, right? I use you to become what you said I could not be, which is the biggest fucking star of a company. that you're involved in, that you're a talent relations guy in, that so you see the work and the shit that I'm putting into, and I used your ass to get over that hump that you told me that was such a hump that now I'm considered the star of a bidding war in the next year and a half as to be like where I'm gonna be, what TV channel I'm gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the mega star of MJF, the growing mega star of MJF in our niche community, right? Because it's only so much that he can reach out to until he gets over that, until he does something so dastardly, or he does something so damning, or until he does something so despicable, right? That it gets a crossover appeal. He's only going to be MJF, the really good heel in wrestling. And until he wants to become MJF, like who we think Ricky Starks is, or who we thought Sasha Banks was, right? Or who we think Bianca is, or who we see Jade to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not to mention those are all people of color. You know, we just got that sauce, but you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, but in reality of the fact, the crossover appeal of the white wrestler is almost like the white quarterback. Nigga, you gonna have to be something special other than white. You know what I'm saying? So MJF right now, he's gonna be something other special. He's gonna have to be special other than just a heel. He can't just be a white heel talking shit. That shit don't get you that ass no more, man.
It's worked for the past 3 years, though. You've seen him since MLW. He's been a guy. Listen, it's worked for Ric Flair. It's worked for Miz. It's working for MJF. This is who he is. He's the white.
I'm about to
plumpest heel.
MJF in the class of Ric Flair and the Miz as greatest hero.
He's the next evolution of it, and he does a great job. We talked about it on the podcast before. He's a great job of a modern day social media heel in the way he uses the media or a podcast or how he's always in character. Like, no matter what, some of the things he says, I'm like, man, he gets away with saying this shit. It's crazy, It's good because I always wonder, like, I would love to talk to him because, like, how do you say like you're gonna be greater than Bruno Sammartino and he's rolling over in his grave, like all this stuff that he said, like just to call out and dead wrestlers and say, and just be like, yeah, and just move on with his promo. Like the things that he said to Renee, oh yeah, shut your mouth. Like he'll just say that right to her face, shut your mouth. In the climate that it is, of telling a woman to shut her mouth in a promo right there. That kind of little subtle things he does is a little bit of a sauce because no one's doing that shit. Like he'll go on podcasts online. He's talking about the bidding war 2024, calling out Triple H on the mic, calling out Nick Khan on the mic. This is the sauce that is MJF that makes him different than everybody else. He doesn't care and he goes out there and speaks his mind. Or he,
he's a sophomore. I look at it as a sophomore. Again, he's just a sophomore. It feels as if like
he's not going to turn black overnight.
It feels as if
he's not going to be black.
Damn. No. I'm not necessarily saying that, but what I'm saying is like. Damn, like that jocular fucking, you know what I'm saying? Hey, babe, shut up, gal. Whatever the fuck that is. I understand it works where it works at. I feel you, but I've also told you that he had to do other things. He had to bulk up. He had to prove it in the ring. He had to take it outside of saying like. It had to evolve. And that's all I'm saying. Evolution of MJF. He cannot stay where he was to get. I don't want him to be like, okay, this is what got me there. I get to stay here because that's what we see a lot of people do. I do feel like that he's not that person, but I do want to make sure he doesn't tread there because I will be the one to call him out on it.
I want to be honest with you. MJF is going to leave after 2024. He's not being in AEW. He's going to WWE.
I can see that.
Him, Jay Cargill are not going to be there forever. These are guys and gals who want to push their limits, who I see that they are going to get, tired of the mundane of AEW. You did it already. Once you did it already, you did it. and you accomplish the heights in AEW. I mean, once Jay becomes, eventually AEW Women's Champion, which he will definitely be, it's gonna be like, all right, now time to move on. Even if she doesn't, she's already a huge star. So to see her, working with like a Bow Wow and all this stuff, it's bringing light to AEW and bringing all that, eyes on that, being on a Breakfast Club, and all that stuff. These guys and gals, when you reach that certain level, you're good. It's a test to leave. That's the only thing I can think of, like MGF can do to make you think like, all right, you can't stop there. Is to actually leave and test him with himself against other talent, in WWE. Not that it's even better talent, just to say like, listen, I've done it here. I've been around the Kenny Omegas, the John Moxleys, the Stings, the Darbys, the Bryan Danielsons, and I made a name for myself. All right, let me go out there in front of Romans and the Seths and the Sami Zayns and let me and KOs and let me make my name out there and show you that I'm as good as you guys too. So that's what I think is the next step for MJF after this title reign. But within this title reign, all he has to do is keep being himself. All he has to do is continually go out there, put on a great mic showing on the mic. I think he's a great storyteller in the ring and on the mic in his promos. He's already like found a way to really captivate people with his, villain stories or why his motivations are for beating certain people. But I just hope it doesn't get stale. But he said he talked about it's going to get stale. You guys are going to say that MJF is boring and all this stuff. He said you guys are fickle, which might happen because part of what the appeal of MJF was the chase of the AEW championship. Even though he's a heel, like he can say he's the best, but he never had the championship. Now he is. And when you are champion, you can get kind of stale. So that's going to elevate him now. Can you carry programs with the Bryan Danielsons and the Ricky Starks and the Eddie Kingstons? Can you really say, all right, I'm going to make people tune in still and say that I can't wait to see this guy lose?
And I feel like that's going to be his staying power. Whether it gets stale or not, we'll have to see. But I feel like just from the promo that he cut, that's exactly what we about to see. Is we tuning in to see if MJF pulls up, but it'll be like how when Brock reigned and it's like, damn, he not on Monday night again. It's gonna be like back before when it was literally it was a delicacy to see Hulk Hogan on your TV because nigga, I got this championship. Y'all only gonna see me on pay-per-view. Like literally, that's how it was back then. So I feel like that's exactly what he's about to do. Not necessarily holding the title hostage, but on some old nigga. I own this. I earned it. I'm gonna make any one of you that get in the ring with me. I'm gonna make you earn it, and you gonna tune in every week because it got my name on it. And I'm gonna decide when I pull up.
Yeah, I think that's he kind of teased that too. Because I think that MJF, above all else, is a businessman, which is really smart of him. I think that him, calling out the bidding war 2024 is genius because he's just manifesting that, y'all gonna have to pay me when my contract is up, whether it's AEW, whether it's WWE, whoever it is, y'all gonna have to pay me to get this talent. I know my worth. And on top of that, the Brock model or Hulk Hogan model or even Roman to some degree, no, I show up when I want to because not when I want to per se, but I only show up not every single week because it's special to see me. And that I think is what he's gonna do, as opposed to a John Moxley whose thing is I'm a fighting champion, I'm gonna be here every week, and I'm the best to do it, right now. And I think that John Moxley owns that lane, and he can still own that lane without having the championship. While MJF is like, no, I'm special. I'll come fight whenever I need to.
And that's the beauty between your heel. That's the heel of all heels versus the faces of all faces. You got your Seth Rollins and your John Moxleys, and I'm a fighting champ, but you gonna see me every week. But when you're the top-notch bad guy, nah, nigga, I'm here when I want to be here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might see me next week. Probably not. I'm gonna see y'all next week. You know what I mean? But it's like that's really, you know what I mean? What works over here, it shouldn't work over here. And that's why I think the storyline, even if it is mundane, even if it does get stale, I do agree with Chris to the point where you do want to see him add a little sauce to it. But if he already has the cachet and he has the title, you feel me? Like you already halfway there. He don't have to do too much. He's like Bombeni, but it's like the way you deliver the promo, even though I hear all of y'all cheering for me, the dope thing that I like about him is even when he gets those cheers at every stadium, he makes it a point to, hey, I hear y'all back there.
Yeah,
Y'all all SMD though.
the
You know what I mean? It's
crowd.
like, nah, I'm gonna make sure y'all keep me right here in this heel lane. So it's like,
You know, we talked about this with Seth Rollins a couple weeks ago, and I think I see it with Roman too. I see it with the major stars, John Cena's. You get to a level where the crowd's so invested that you can control the crowd and you can make them part of the show. Like you can make them a part of the show when you're in the ring. MGF is already there at a very young age. So you got to respect the age that he's doing it at too. And he's just going to keep getting better. So the test is not to add to anything new to the act, in my opinion. It's really just to continue doing what he does. And the fact that he will be there sparingly is going to make it more attractive for when people say, "Oh, MJF is going to be here next week." I tuned in this week. I was like, "Oh, I got to see this." You guys tuned in too. You got to see this. He's already there. So now it's just like, all right, let's keep him special, and that is by lessening his appearances, just like the Romans hoax of the sorts.
I would like to add on to that. When we talking about the feeling special, right? Of being a champion. I don't necessarily want to agree that he's going to bring a certain amount of cachet to being a champion, but I will say that he will bring a level of differentiation between him and other champions, right? Because the legitimacy of being likable and being unlikable, understanding his story, not really giving a fuck about the whys to the actions, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that kind of is the nuance and character building. You know what I'm saying? When AEW is talking about building a new world, you see what I'm saying? Like Adam Page is intricate in building a new world. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that here we are. We're having here we are 27 minutes in this conversation, and we have made it a conscious effort not to talk about any of the dirt sheet shit around at AEW because it don't fucking matter. I don't give a fuck about CM Punk and his lawsuit. I don't give a fuck if FTR want to go back. I don't give a fuck if William Regal, like all that shit is ancillary to the product. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what? You just led me right to something I wanted to mention. That stuff is ancillary to the product. You know what else is ancillary to the product? You guys telling the fans, hey, it's not us against CM Punk, let it go. And then going into the ring and pretty much trolling and doing the same things that people talked about. Listen, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, I love you guys. I do. Like, y'all are supremely talented. Don't take away from Penta, Phoenix, and Pac and your angle with them by keep on referencing what went down at the brawl out in your matches. The bite, or what PCN missing the whatever that fucking move is, the buckshot lariat, all those things, and doing the GTS, like all those things are taking away from your angle you're having for the Trios Championship with Death Triangle. And you guys are having great matches. Like, just stop trying to pop your fucking weird ass freaking fan base. Like, really, like, just there's more to wrestling than your nerd ass beating the elite cult.
Just call it what it is, man. That corny shit, bro.
It's corny, yeah. And I love them. They're great. They're super talented. But when they do these little trolly ass things, it just bugs me, dog. Like, it's just stupid. And I think that you got to be a little bit more mature to elevate your angle with Death Triangle, because that's where we're at right now. Don't take the spotlight off of this trios group, which had the title, who's when you guys fucked up as EVPs and had a brawl, took this title and made it mean something that you guys just created, So you want to tell the fans to get away from the whole CM Punk thing and then want to reference CM Punk every fucking week. It's fucking stupid. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like, you led me right to that, Chris, because we're here to talk about the actual show,
Well, I would like to say this though, like they're like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Adam Page, right? Like, they did something essentially that nobody thought can be possibly be done, right? Like, so the ego that they have, right? The as Tyreek Hill says, the cocojones. You know what I'm saying? The
Cocojones.
Cocojones.
You can't give country black people nothing, nigga.
Cocojones, man.
You know what I'm saying? But the legit, like the legitimate faith and trust within yourself to be like, look, man, like we about to build something. So I can understand, like, you're saying that as your EVP, you have to act a little bit different, present yourself a little bit different. But like, I'm gonna be honest,
it's almost like having street niggas be CEOs. You dig? Like, it's gonna take a little bit of time for us to transition to what, because I don't know what regular locker room situation go on when you just a performer. You know what I'm saying? I as if you just a performer, some shit talk, like I know in sports locker rooms, like we just get it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if a nigga literally got to take a hat off and put another hat on to like really digest what happened. So I do want to give that type of grace when I'm talking about that, but
I want to give him grace, but I can't. Like, it's unprovoked. Like, if for instance, if CM Punk was going around still talking shit and they did this, I'd be like, yo, I mean, he's asking for it, But if you tell your fan base, hey, it's not about the Elite versus CM Punk, and then go out and do this stuff right after it, it's so fucking contradictory for what you're saying and trying to build with your company. You got to show some leadership.
But we also know this goes back to the ego. This also goes back to, like, listen, we saw a little bit between FTR and the Young Bucks, right? Like, we like, yo, this is what the FTR came to AEW for, and it don't feel special. They wrapped it around the Lakers and Celtics, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, had all that cosplay shit, did all the extra finishers. It just wasn't about pure what they say they love is professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't what they did with the Briscoes. That Briscoes match was so crazy match of the year, in my opinion.
But this goes back to it. There is never going to be a situation where niggas aren't going to politic.
My thing is, you're going to politic. What's the benefit of doing this way of politic? Like, this is not even politicking to me.
It's controlling the narrative. I mean, look at the politics. It's controlling the narrative, right? It's controlling what people converse about. It's controlling what the conversation is, because
they've already done that. People were chanting "fuck CM Punk" when they fucking came back. Like, what do you want? Like, what are you controlling at this point? You actually let it get out of hand. To this point, CM Punk's not there anymore. Move the fuck on. You want to tell your family to move the fuck on? Y'all should move the fuck on. That's all I'm trying to say. And I get it, but at the same time, you're EVP. You guys are setting an example for your company. I think this is what Booker T was getting to. Like, yeah, the stuff that you guys are doing, you might not be around in a couple of years. I don't think that's the case, but there is an immaturity about these guys that I'm like, yo, I get it. If there was on to being the Elite, they did make some jokes about it. Cool. It's your own fucking podcast is on your own fucking, vlog or whatever it is, your web series online. You guys make all the jokes you want there. On this fucking platform called AEW Dynamite Rampage on television, you don't bring that shit here. We've moved past it for a reason. Y'all were suspended for a reason. Y'all came back, move on. This is now about Death Triangle, the team that has held the title for the past 3 months, that you guys established as a viable trios champion, the first like real one, because you guys fucked it up. Let this ride and let it breathe. But when you start biting niggas and start copying CM Punk's moves and all that shit, you're taking the narrative off of the angle you're building with that. And this is the problem with AEW. Storytelling. MJF, great job. Jon Moxley, great job. Thank y'all for trying to do that. Bryan Danielson, William Regal, great job. But everybody, a lot of other angles, whether it be, just bad storytelling in some things, the shit that Chris Jericho does sometimes is just corny sometimes. The shit that the Elite does sometimes is just corny. And I think the best thing Chris Jericho has done is probably with Eddie Kingston. But like the other things just don't.
You know why? Because it's real, right? I will be more in tune with what the Elite is doing if it's real to what we think that they are, which is egotistical maniacs who loves the smell of their own shit.
You didn't clip that one.
Because realistically, this is what I'm saying. Like, you build something from a ground up, you get a billionaire, you're on national television, you got a TV show, you got 2 TV shows, you got a video game coming out, you got,
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, you are doing shit that you are a machine, right? You were raging against the machine to now
you are the
becoming the machine, and you gotta really understand, like, that, man. That's some adrenaline. That's a drug, nigga. Like, that's a drug. And
They're high up their own supply, though.
yes, I mean, you can't be mad. You can't be mad at that because listen, we got Punk back. We conversed and put that contract together. We gave him the bread. We told him, if you come back, and I can understand what I'm like, man. Punk came back. This goes back to what we said. Punk came back being who he was. He was already egotistical. He was already a fucking egomaniac. And now you combine the two, and now they're like, we're the reason that you're here. And Punk is like, nah, nigga, I'm the reason why y'all are as big as y'all are, because I'm that nigga. My name is bigger than Chris Jericho. My name is bigger than Jon Moxley. My name is bigger than Bryan Danielson. My name is bigger than y'all niggas, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I know what y'all
Haven't
did.
you heard these arenas for the past 7 years?
This is what I'm saying. So the ego,
and he has a point.
And they do too, because we signed that check.
But my thing is that whole thing, and I can hear you on both sides. It's over. Like, and you know, that ego, you gotta sometimes check your ego. And that's what I'm waiting for on both sides, CM Punk or the Elite. Check your fucking ego. Like, come on. This is not about you. This is not about the Elite. This is like, AEW ain't about you. It's about everything you're building, everything you said you're going to stand for. It's not about you. Let's make this company about making the best storylines and angles that we've never seen before in wrestling before. And you guys did that with Hangman Ariel Long. Now y'all can build something with Penta, Phoenix, and Pac, and y'all fucking up and bringing up and having people talk about fucking Punk still. Yes, on you. That's on you. It's not about y'all anymore. And you guys are like, you know, I think it's a disservice to the Death Triangle. That's really what I'm trying to say.
I will say this. And I'm gonna get you in here, Rich, because I will say this. If we are complaining about WWE does not bring in real life shit into their storylines, and like, oh, we're dumb, we know what's going on, how can y'all not talk about it? Blase, blase, blase. I can't be mad at AEW for not running from it. And also, I can't say it's taken away from Death Triangle. Hold on, let me land.
Okay, well, land, forget it.
No, don't forget it. I just let me land. Because I just want to get to the point of they
did, but they did not, because although it was not addressed via, you know, the commentators and shit like that and everything like that on national TV, it was not ran from. It was not scripted away from television or whatever the case may be. Death Triangle benefited from the fuck up of the Elite. If the Elite never fucked up, I don't know what Death Triangle will be doing. So I would say that it's not necessarily interfering with what Death Triangle. I mean, they was only off TV for like a month. So I hear what you're saying. But this particular feud of who's the best trios tag team, when Death Triangle didn't have to go through the Elite and the Elite didn't have to go through Death Triangle, because remember, the whole tournament was the Elite against fucking United Empire. You know what I'm saying? It's still got the undertone of Kenny Omega,
and then they had the match with Dark Order. Yeah,
exactly. So I think right now, it's almost like they're trying to pick up where they left off at, but they can't take the titles immediately off of Death Triangle. You know what I mean? So
they shouldn't. And I get. And
but
that's
if they
the
want to
thing,
go
like,
with the course of action of what they had planned, I think
if they can, I mean, they have the prerogative to do what they want. And if they win this seven match series, I'm cool with it. But I'm not cool with it if you don't tell the story now. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, if you're going to keep referencing this, you know, fight that we've not seen, we've only heard stories of, and if you know that, and then in the match with that triangle, not only they did their joke backstage, and they're like, oh, somebody got bit, or you know, that's not what they're doing. They're doing it in the match and doing spots around this dumbass fight they had. And that's making it about you after telling people, hey, let's move on past it. It's not about the Elite versus CM Punk. And they're chanting fuck CM Punk when you guys arrived, all that shit. You guys are now feeding back into that whole thing. And I think it's corny. I think it's whack. I think that they did not, I think they did not. I think they did avoid it. I think that Tony Khan did go out and, and just say, hey, listen, we're not going to address this. And they haven't really addressed it on TV. They haven't. So them doing these little spots is not me. It's not me feeling like, oh, they're addressing it head on. No, they put the title on a different team because they had to. And now they're working with what they're working with, where they're at. Now, listen, Kenny Omega and Young Bucks are huge, super talented, great wrestlers, and they're having great matches with that triangle. Good shit. But this is the thing that I'm saying is like, why do I go on Twitter and social media and hear about, and the pictures I see from the match are Kenny Omega biting somebody or a video of them doing some goofy shit of, the buckshot lariat and falling down. And like, that's just lame to me. You guys can tell a real bell-to-bell story, the Death Triangle, and get over this trio championship that you guys been clamoring for 3 years. Fuck all that shit with CM Punk.
Rich,
Yep.
any comments on the past 15 minutes?
Next topic.
and I think that in itself.
I'll be honest, to cap that entire segment, that is proof that they really do need to move beyond that, because that just took away from the conversation to be had of how good the match actually was. Like, the match was dope.
Yeah,
we couldn't even get into that. We 42 minutes in.
Yeah,
let's go next topic, folks.
Next topic. Shout out to Death Triangle. I hope you guys take this victory, man. I still won't think win this series, but
I got a feeling they're gonna lose, man.
I have a feeling they're gonna lose too, but I hope that they swerve us, because I think that's how you have the elite chase for a little while. They fucking fucked up. Let them fucking go through their hurdles and then jump through hoops. They don't need a title all the time. They don't need a tag title. They don't need a world championship. They need to sit down and figure out how to get over. I mean, they're already over. Just be backstage and just do your angles and do your cute little, fucking jokes, But hey, that's just me.
I want to end AEW talk with three. We talked about 3 male segment dominated angles. I want to go into 3 women angles that AEW are doing that I'm really intrigued with, and you guys can comment, stop me whenever. First and foremost, Athena. I'm so proud of the character switch, the character change. She is doing fantastic work. She's heard all of the negative shit that we've talked about her, and she is using that on camera, and I appreciate that.
It's funny because I always fucked with her. So it was always like, damn, man, why don't she like, it was just like a frustration, because it was like, man, I seen so much more. So no, I'm glad. I'm with you. I'm glad.
Nah, I think a couple weeks ago or like a month ago, we had that match on Dark, and she was getting a reaction of like a heel against some really nobody. And she used that shit immediately and started just and worked with it and played the heel role in the match, and she was like a professional, man. So, and she just came off as believable, as like he's had hit there was a spark. So I'm down. Listen, we all know Athena is a great wrestler, super talented. Before WWE signed her, I spotted her on the Indies. I was like, yo, they need to pick her up. Her and Apollo were the 2 people that I saw in the Indies back in the day, where I'm like, yo, if WWE picks them up, because they didn't have a lot of black talented women and wrestlers that were coming up. And I'm like, in NXT at one point, I'm like, we need some more black representation. And her and Apollo, I spotted, and I was so happy when she got signed. She had some great run in NXT with Asuka. They didn't quite use her right in the main roster in WWE, so I think that she has the revitalization. Now she's a heel. I don't think we saw her as a heel yet. So this is going to be interesting to see going forward. I want to see where this goes. And her and Ruby Riott could link up, and I wouldn't mind seeing where that goes.
Well, right now she is her and Mercedes Martinez right now for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, which that's why I said I'm really excited about that, because Athena actually called her out. Athena called her out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really intrigued as to like, you know, the forthcoming of what they got going on with that. The second thing, the second women topic that I want to talk about is actually the women's AEW Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter. I don't know what is going on with her and the direction that she's going. I'm not sure if maybe they're, you know, they're slow playing the turn of babyface Jamie versus heel Britt Baker. I kind of really don't know if they waiting for Tony Storm to kind of heal up to kind of run that back and do like a best of three, or are they waiting for Thunder Rosa? Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's bad, right? She's been champion for almost what 3 weeks. And for us not to have a direction of where that division is going and where it stands, I think that's kind of telling. And I think they kind of need to tighten that up a little bit because Jamie deserves a little bit better. Tony did as well. I think, you know, them honoring Tony's championship run after the fact, saying that it was official by calling her the interim champion that whole time. I think it does it. You know what I'm saying? I just think with that lineage of that title, since it got the upgrade of the championship, is just haven't really felt as special. Thunder Rosa won it. She won it in San Antonio in the cage match. We talked about how it just didn't feel after that she was elevated after that feud with Britt. Then we just waited for her and Tony Storm to kind of have that match. That did what it did, but it wasn't really what it had to be. You know what I'm saying? And then even Tony didn't win it off of Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Tony won it off of an interim 4-way. You know what I'm saying? So I just really want that division kind of to be a little bit more solidified, especially at the top, because I just mentioned I'm excited about Athena and Mercedes with the Ring of Honor Championship. The last thing I'm gonna talk about is Jade and the TBS Championship. This World Championship of the AEW Championship kind of really needs some direction. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think Jamie Hayter was a fan favorite for the past couple of weeks. I think that she doesn't make me feel like she's world championship material quite yet. She's a great wrestler. I don't know. I think she's more over because she's been the backup to Britt for so long, and you know she's a good wrestler, and we want to see that probably pan out. I don't know what Jamie Hayter is herself. You know, she just is a good wrestler.
We've always paid attention to her. Like, listen, Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander was, or Chris Statlander, Jay. Like I think Chris. Like I didn't know Chris was gonna be missed this much, for the simple fact that like she just adds a different dynamic and element to the women's division, almost like what Raquel Gonzalez would do for the women's division if she was ever to pick up as a babyface. You know what I'm saying? Like, because her ability to stand next to Bianca and Rhea just doesn't make it them two. You know what I'm saying? Like, and between Jamie and Jade, Chris was that buffer. You know what I'm saying? That can stand in between those two.
It almost feels to me like Jade is the women's champion and Jamie Hayter is the TBS champion, as far as the energy that I get from the show. Because we were talking about Jade in the group chat, and people have that meme that or this conversation that's going on Twitter is Jade Cargill. She got a lot better in the ring, and it has what we thought we were going to get from Ronda. Like, all right. See right there. Unpopular opinion, maybe. Jade Cargill has become a better professional wrestler in a year and a half than Ronda Rousey in the 4 years since her debut. And this is from Dirt Sheet Radio. Shout out to y'all. Great conversation to have. Great hot take, that now we're here talking about it on the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. But I believe that there's some weight to this. I don't think that she necessarily is the better professional wrestling than Ronda. I just think that she has more star potential as far as energy wise and where she's at. I think that she gets more eyeballs. Her social media game is it's flawless. We love seeing her. And I think, to me, Jade Cargill, it's like it's a matter of your presence. Like, it's not just the ring work, it's the presence you bring to your art form. everything when Jade speaks on the mic, you feel like she believes it. I'm that bitch. You know, like cut the shit, Tony. Like the way she talks, she believes it. She's believable. Like when Ronda speaks, it ain't all there. And I think in the ring, Ronda has had great matches. I still haven't seen a great Jade Cargill match. So like that's me. I have seen great matches from Ronda with Nia, Sasha, Becky. I've seen it. I know she can go in the ring. Even with stuff she did with Liv wasn't bad, you know. But
Correct.
Ronda needs to capture the
That's true.
audience on the mic. So and I think that when we get Jade eventually, you know, becoming the women's champion in AEW, things will feel right. Like,
Now,
so I would like to
wanna-
see Jamie Hayter and Jade Cargill personally.
I want to piggy just off that one time now because
Jade's not that much better on the mic than Ronda. She's more confident. You know what I'm saying? And I would say because neither one of them like it's not the most fluidity. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't give Jade a lot, right? Jade doesn't necessarily have a lot. You know what I mean? That she
Yeah.
that she
But
works
when she's
with.
on, it's presented as like,
exactly.
you know, it's important. I've seen she did with Nyla Rose. You know, for instance, put it this way: Jade Cargill has the baddies. Can you name all the baddies? Yeah, you can name all the baddies, and probably you're like, yeah, but we're here to see Jade. But Ronda has Shayna Baszler, and when you see Shayna Baszler and Ronda together, you're like, oh, Shayna Baszler, that's Shayna Baszler. You know, like she can overshadow Ronda in moments. You know, whereas the baddies have no shot in overshadowing Jade on that microphone. You know, and it fits like what Ronda and Shayna is more like a duo.
That's a lie. You know, Red Velvet is your motherfucking favorite, dog.
Stir it up. Listen, I'm about to stir it all up, man. Listen, I'm happy to see Red Velvet back. I'm more than happy than anybody to see her back. But let's be real. The act itself of, you know, the baddies and Jade, it works because Jade is a star right now. Red Velvet is great in the ring, and yeah, she's my favorite. Shout out to Red Velvet. But when it comes down, when I'm comparing the act to Ronda and Shayna, it's more like a 2-woman power trip. Now, what I would like to see with Ronda is just her have that confidence, and the confidence is like talk that shit that you know you can. The shit is pretty much I can beat up any bitch in this ring anywhere at any time.
Yep.
Just it's the truth.
Yep.
She should be able to say that with confidence every single week and own it, you know? Like, so it's just that presence. Ronda doesn't give that presence. I don't think she necessarily is a worse wrestler than Jade, though.
Now before we commit completely over to this topic, because this would be a great kind of pivot over. I just want to say there is nothing that Ronda can do to equate to any type of investment that I'm gonna have into this character that Jade just recently did past Wednesday. Like, did you see her? Did you see what God created? Did you see what God placed on us to see and bestowed upon our eyes as a motherfucking gift from him? Right? So I don't think there is nothing that Ronda can do to eat like she would. Now this is a situation where she's gonna have to come to God and be like, can I be black? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way she's gonna be able to top that. You know what I mean? Because that is nothing presentation wise, there's not enough money that you can put behind Ronda to make as much money as
Ronda
Jade.
came in with all that hype.
You know what I'm
UFC,
saying?
right?
She's phenomenal.
Right? Ronda came in with all that hype from UFC, and
Yeah.
that gave her that it factor. And it only over time, if you don't sustain it, it wears off. Also, you had Becky blow up, you know, during that time and become the man, and it was not planned for. And you know, so Becky kind of took that spotlight. Jade,
Absolutely.
it has that it factor, and she's gonna sustain that and hold it for a long time because because she looks the part, she sounds the part, and all she needs to do is compete in the ring decently enough so that she can continue the angle rolling. Whereas I believe Ronda, better in the ring, doesn't have the affect her as much anymore because we've gotten used to her, and to spark that back up is going to be harder than it's going to be harder because she has the stigma of course, because you're Ronda, you're getting this spot. But I think that Ronda also deserves it. I think that Ronda is probably better than majority of the women in wrestling in the ring in WWE. Believe it or not, I think that she has a different style. But now it's about how you have somebody match up with her to get her over and telling the right stories with Ronda, which I don't think they quite have figured out yet.
Well, I would say also now with that, if we could just go straight into it, since we just kind of wrapped up with AEW, kind of spent the first hour on AEW. Shout out to AEW having compelling conversation, or compelling television that we can kind of just speak up on it. Ronda and SmackDown, it's kind of missing something. We've already spoke about that. SmackDown in general is just missing something. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have the Intercontinental World Cup final. You know what I'm saying? I can bring my championships back in. We talking WWE now. You know what I'm saying? We having an Intercontinental, the Intercontinental motherfucking finals with Santos Escobar, Ricochet, and the winner first Gunther. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
nobody's taking this off of Gunther. Nobody's taking this off of Gunther, and let's just hold that right now. I don't care. Right now it's cute because the World Cup is going on. We got all these guys wrestling, and we got but Germany's Germany's on top. Germany's keeping it. Gunther is German, right?
Yeah, I think he is
Austrian. Wow.
Austrian. That's what he say.
I'm gonna look this up because I don't want to fuck up.
Yeah, I know that nigga crazy. I know that's what he is. I know that nigga crazy for sure.
I think we're gonna get Ricochet and Gunther. They're gonna get a rematch for his championship. He's one who I think defeated for the championship. If we do get Santos, will be a good match for him. Honestly, I really am a big fan of Legado. But I just don't see Gunther giving this. Yeah, he's Austrian. I don't see him giving up this title anytime soon, and rightfully so. You guys posted in the group chat a couple of weeks ago or a week ago about Gunther and possibly Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which would be awesome. I would love it. I didn't comment on it because I was just trying to chew on it a little bit and think about how we could get there. Gunther doesn't need a title for that, but he definitely fits the bill, and this can be something that takes him over to the main event space, after he's done with his Intercontinental Championship reign. But I just want to touch on that real quick. But Gunther's the real deal. I think that him with Imperium around him too. I think that Vince would have fucked up Imperium, and I think that Triple H is putting them in the right spots. Them in the New Day having their interactions was awesome, and now the keeping the tag division fresh with that. I like what they're doing in WWE. I can't speak enough about where we're at right now in WWE and how things feel synchronistic. Synchronicity we like to talk about in this podcast a lot. But you got Roman as the god tier guy on top with 2 championships. But on both shows, you got a strong secondary champion in Gunther, and now Austin Theory with his angle with Seth. So I'm really proud of the way they structured the companies, because every single show you're gonna see some elevation on the mid card, some attention on it. It doesn't feel ignored. The tag division doesn't feel ignored. The women's division doesn't feel ignored. No one's like, oh yeah, we haven't seen a women's champion, in weeks. Back in the day, tag team champions haven't wrestled in weeks. No, every week we're getting something. And on top of that, they're still building the angle with the bloodline and rounding out the interactions with everybody. So yeah, shout out to them, because even with Ronda's, probably the more stagnant of all the titles, I think that she just needs a competitor, a real person to come at her that looks like a threat. She doesn't have one.
And with that being said, we've already had the conversation of who we expect for her to be, in contentions with over the next couple of weeks. So I will just say this right now, with the landscape of everything you just broke down, CT. aka Chitty Bang. I would like to ask, my contemporaries here on the panel, what is the most significant or the most looked at wrestler or feud that you're going into the new year? Because we kind of already booked up WrestleMania last time we was on the pod. I don't know if Richie was in and out. I don't know if you heard, you know what I'm saying, how
we're gonna keep booking it for the next probably 4 or 5 months. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, looking into the new year, who's our top? Like, what was the question again?
Yeah, who? What are you? Which superstar or which wrestler or which feud or what is the most intriguing thing that you're looking into going into the new year? Because there's no pay-per-view, right? Going to and if you want to combine, AEW,
winter's coming
fine, because it's still. Yeah. Yes.
Is that pay-per-view or is it a special event? I think it's.
I'm not sure, because if it's a special event, then I'm not gonna count that. I think that might be on TNT or some shit like that, or a special time. You know what I mean? But even with that, I going into the new year, I know for me, I need to get a handle on Bianca and Rhea or Bianca and Charlotte. Like I need that to get going relatively sooner than later, because I need it to be at the most high pitched fever that it can be, so it can matter the most. Because we already saw it, right? The Royal Rumble was Rhea and Bianca, right? That they have been at each other back before the pandemic. And NXT Portland, they had the phenomenal match that was match of the fucking night that had Dijak and Keith Lee on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rhea and Bianca had some unparalleled chemistry with amongst them two that needs to like build up. So I want that. But Bianca also spoke about it in the post game panel that Charlotte is the final boss. I want to see what they kind of go with Bianca, because she's been doing a really good job since she won that title back from Becky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I would like to. That's you said she know what it is. What is it?
Yeah, no, Bianca knows that's the match. Like, that's the match that she has to.
This Charlotte #1 fanboy right here. Let's.
I'm not Charlotte #1 fanboy. Listen, she had a WrestleMania match with Becky and Sasha already. She hasn't. I mean, you just saw a whole feud with her and Bayley. Who can? She had
really? She had a 4-month feud with Bayley. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Who can really? I mean, Rhea's great because they're parallel, but. Come on, man. Like, you're going to choose Rhea to take the championship off of Bianca? I don't even want to even see Charlotte take the championship over Bianca. I just want to want to see the match, because I'm telling you, it's gonna slap. I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting.
Charlotte has for so long been the genetically superior genetic freak athlete for a long time.
Just the winner by default, nigga.
And she can't fucking say that now, nigga. Like, there is no way.
With Bianca or Rhea, ain't no default no more.
Yeah, that's out. Yeah. She can't. So the pure challenge in strength, right? The pure challenge and like, I can go with you beat for beat. Like, you want this cardio, cool. This power, cool. This, like, I can do whatever it is that you do. Moonsaults, I do 450s, bitch. Like, what it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I just added another flip to my shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bianca and Rhea are, because Rhea's already had her match with Charlotte at WrestleMania. I don't want to see her, ruin that. I want to see the match. Don't get me wrong, because I think it's gonna slap. But Rhea's had that match. She's had that spotlight. When Rhea and Bianca link up, is gonna be special, because they're both confident. They're both at this place where they really they know what they're doing. They're veterans, and to some degree, they know what they're doing in that ring. And we're going to see them continue to do this over the course of their career. But the Charlotte thing and Bianca, we have not seen, and I want to see. It's kind of like a passing of the torch, in a sense, because I think that WWE has hyped up Charlotte so much over the years that I'm like, let somebody officially bring her down. I thought it was Asuka. I thought it would be a great moment for Asuka to beat Charlotte, WrestleMania, and then maybe down the line, Asuka, Charlotte will get her revenge. And I think that you could have kept Charlotte as a babyface if you did it that way, because Charlotte could have, climbed up and, fought for something. You guys did it to Bianca to keep her babyface run going with Becky. You had her lose the championship, and then she had to climb back up. And that's why Bianca's been a babyface for how long? And it hasn't gotten old. It hasn't gotten stale, because she has lost the championship, had to fight back, and she got it back again. She's proven she's the EST. So I need to see Charlotte get knocked down on a peg and have Bianca take that spot as the pinnacle, like above all else women in the world, because I think she is. I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, period. Honestly. So yeah, I hear you on that, and I'm with you on seeing where that develops, because the women's division, that will definitely bring a spark. Those two women, Rhea and Charlotte. But Rich, going into the new, you have any comments on that?
No, I think that match is gonna slap one way or another whenever she do get back. So nothing to add to that, y'all. Y'all touched on everything.
Anything else that you think? Because I know what I want to see going into the new year, but anything that you want to see going into the year, or any person, any superstar, any wrestler you're trying to like just keep an eye on going into the new year?
Any feud, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't. What I want to see going into the new year is it's not match related, but really progression as far as obviously Bray Wyatt. I want to see where that goes. I want to see. I'm believe it or not, I want to see what progression is about to be had with Alexa with Bliss. I want to see what's going on with her. I see something, but like we don't know. Like, but you could tell like something is happening. Like I want to see what's going on with her progression. And I want to see Riddle progress, but without these corny. Let me interject myself into a tag with you. Like I want to see fun get high, Riddle, but let me see you do it on your own, and let me see you fuck shit up. Like I want to see you, like Randy's gone. Like I want to see him be the original bro before what we see now. You know what I'm saying?
To comment on that, I'm sorry.
You good?
Riddle, in theory, would slap.
I agree.
Riddle and could slap. I would hold off on that though.
On a serious, like on some serious shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not serious enough. You're not in this. You were United States champion, Riddle, but you never got a second opportunity because you whatever the case may be. But
yeah, you're a joke. You're a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I see you partying all the time in the back. You're a fucking joke. Matter of fact, I'm done talking to you. Yeah, I need that. But I also said that with I forgot who I said it with for Dolph. Like it's a few matches that I want to see him as far as character development, not for him. Oh man, I mentioned him in the group chat with you guys, and I forgot.
Ali?
But it was two different people that I was like,
Ali and Cedric?
Nah, it definitely wasn't Ali because
it definitely wasn't Ali.
Because I'm finally over the fact that Ali is a career jobber, and it kind of hurt me when they realized it. But I'm like, yeah, like he's the new age. He's him now. You're just we're gonna continue to root for you because it's like Mustafa Ali, but it's like,
yeah, when he gets his Intercontinental or United States Championship run, it's gonna be special because you got to build up to it. But right now, it's not the right time for him. But I feel you. Yeah, those Riddle, he's our guy. We want to see him succeed. Him and Elias ain't it for me personally. I do like Alpha Academy still. I think that they're entertaining. But they're keeping the tag division fresh, which I appreciate.
I think they're also placeholders. They're jobbers more or less too in the tag division. Like they're just placeholders. So I'm actually okay with that breaking up. Like let Otis be Otis again. Let Chad be Chad. Like Chad is a dope ass. I think it was him and Dolph I mentioned. That would be a fire ass match. Like let him be his own guy again. Like that makeshift thing that we had going on. Like that's going on for long enough now.
Okay. I mean, I like Alpha Academy. I think
I-
they're working out.
I like them as just having a tag team. Now, what I would like to say this too, to add an influx into the conversation as to what it is I would like to see in the intermingling of talent. I would love to see right now, not right now, but Carmelo Hayes make an appearance at the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll
I'm
be a
glad you
great.
brought up the Rumble.
I'm glad that he'll be.
Check out EIWshop.com. Get your Rumble hoodie, dog. It's nice. It's extra soft. But I'm also glad you brought the Rumble because that's where I was going to go as well. Going into the new year, yeah, cop that real quick. 10% off, guys. Sales going on until Christmas, guys. So we're extending it. So
We're
definitely
extending
check it
it,
out. We're
yo.
extending it. So
Thank you to all our
yeah,
supporters who supported so far.
thank you.
Thank you to
Appreciate
everybody
y'all.
who's pulling up and checking out the site. But listen, it's a limited quality of those joints left, man. I'm telling you, they going, brother. So like, listen, if you want it in your size, cop it. You know what I'm saying? We got everything with small, cause
And we got it in white too. So if you don't, and it's icy. I mean, it's
It's-
nice. It's tough.
yeah, I'm saying,
I
But
might
you
have
brought
to
up the
cop that white thing.
the white is special, man.
yeah, the
Honestly.
wife's crazy.
But it's the Royal Rumble. You ask, what do you want to see going into the new year? And I just want one thing, and you already know what it is.
Uh-oh.
Cody Rhodes returns and wins the Royal Rumble. He was one of the hottest baby faces when he got injured. He had one of the best matches of the year, which he probably will get a Slammy for, of like most spots, like one of the greatest spots of the year. And I think that it's gonna be a moment where Dusty's son finally reaches his potential, and I think that's a story I want to see that develop going into WrestleMania and him and Roman, these two second generational stars having that match at WrestleMania where it just feels right. It just feels like the right moment for these guys to face each other. Top heel, top baby face. Can Cody defeat the god of wrestling to become the first WWE champion, like his first WWE championship reign? And that story gotta be told. Like, so if he does not win the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna be upset. Like he's I've tried to be open minded past years. Like, okay, somebody else wins it. Okay. This one, I'm gonna be mad because it's like right there for you. Like it's like, here you go. I know he's healed up. I know he ain't still hurt.
But
His pectoral's fine.
but also to add to that, you know the dope thing about it, man, with the cachet he already has. He ain't even gotta win the Rumble to get that place in WrestleMania,
But
bro.
he never won it too. Like, so I think that's how you really give him that like little bit of like credibility going into it. Now, granted, he does got cachet, but I don't know who else you gonna have win the Rumble. Like, I mean,
Cody needs to win. Like that. I'm sorry, cuz yes, that's going to be
a moment.
fucking moment, brother. Like I don't even know.
But I was gonna ask, like, how long has he been hurt though?
It's been about 6 months.
It's going on 6 months. Rumble what's crazy is the 9 months really calculated for it to be Rumble season, right? Initially. So like before anything happened, it was like and this is the thing, cuz
They
too, right?
said it was gonna take 9 months. But me, I did my research. I'm like, pectoral, how long does it take? And it said it was like about a 4-month injury. And I'm like, you guys are saying it on TV to make us believe that he's gonna miss the Rumble, he's gonna miss WrestleMania. Nah, I think he'll be back.
But this is what I'm saying though. You can't necessarily plan for them to. The nigga literally tore the bitch off the bone
true.
like a turkey leg. Like that, you know what I'm saying? So like they like and also too,
but it
like
said 4 months max. It was like a 4 to 5 months max. A pectoral injury should be healed, but maybe if there's any complications, you give him an extra couple months, maybe 5, 6.
I agree that would be an amazing moment, absolutely. But I don't think he'll be ready soon enough. Between healing, rehabbing, and then getting back in wrestling shape, I think he'll need.
Yeah. I think realistically, right? He's already rehabbing right now. He's already in rehab. I
You're gonna
think
pop
right,
when he shows up.
right now. But then to be ready to get back in the ring, you gotta all those things have to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I didn't think KO was gonna be in the freaking War Games, and they lied to us about that. So like, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
But I think also to comment on that too, cuz, and I'm not to diminish what you're saying. I think I hear what you're saying. This is going to take some time to get into shape. I think right now, if he's in a situation where he's not got a sling and he has like the free motion of the arm, he has a ring at his house. He's getting that ring rust as far as the cardio off. He's running ropes. You know what I'm saying? He's doing those things to keep him in cardiovascular shape, because that's majority what wrestling is, right? We talking about him coming in the Rumble. Nigga might be going 60 minutes.
Yeah,
that ain't got shit to do with how many weights you lifting, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think
and if he's not,
he's currently in that position where he's working himself into that particular shape to where he don't have to do much. He got to do a couple back body drops over the ropes, couple clotheslines, couple of finishers. Like, he's not.
Put your bitch ass back on ice for 2-3 months before you come back.
Listen, and if he's not healed up, I don't want him back. I mean, I'll be happy. Like, if he genuinely doesn't show up in Royal Rumble at all, hey, if let him heal up and then finally make it. You're right. If he needs more time, they're still dealing with the chamber.
That's the other side to that too, though. Because even though I'm saying what I'm saying, in all honesty, man, if he's 65, 75% ready, we know Cody getting in that ring, yo.
Exactly.
And he's not waiting to get 100%, yo.
Yeah, and he wrestled with a torn pectoral a whole match.
5% ready to go. He coming.
He don't have to necessarily even be 100% until Mania.
That's what I mean.
He can come in at number 30. That's throw somebody out and then just do promos for like 2 months.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He don't gotta wrestle.
Yeah.
He already punched his ticket. He already going to Mania. So
I can't wait to see what goes on. I think this is going to be an exciting Royal Rumble. I mean, if he's injured and he still can't make it, then hey, it is what it is. But that's the thing, is like, who's going to take on the tribal chief going into next year? There's a lot of potential, guys. I told you my idea of my fantasy booking of having Cody and Roman night 1 and The Rock and Roman night 2 in Hollywood. I mean, The Rock's Shazam, I think, kind of flopped. He got Jungle Cruise. Like, come on, you've been doing your Hollywood shit for a minute. Come back home. Have one more last match with the tribal chief.
What flop? Not the Black Adam.
Black Adam. Oh yeah, Black Adam. It didn't make as much as they thought it was going to. Put it that way.
That thing made money though.
It didn't make money, but it was only 400 mil, and it's not necessarily what they thought. Put it that way. But hey,
that's funny. That's funny.
You didn't hear from me.
These in that 400 million. Like, that's a flop.
They spent like 300. But they spent.
I'm about to look right now. Yeah, the budget was 200 mil. Okay. The budget was 195 to 200, and they got a box office at 378.
Ooh, that's not too good. Yeah, they make it. Yeah. So I mean, hey, you gotta pay everybody, maybe they got a little bit of profit here. Yeah, but hey, it is what it is. It's the business. But hey, you did your thing, come back to home, Black Adam, and acknowledge the tribal chief. It's in Hollywood. You don't even gotta leave your block, really, because you live out there. Come out there, have your match, do a couple of spots, on the road to WrestleMania with Roman. Roman's being come out all different directions. Cody's on one side, Cody's on Raw, Rock's on SmackDown. You don't know what's gonna happen to the tribal chief in the bloodline. Cody gotta go through the bloodline. Like, there's gonna be so much shit that could happen with lining up to WrestleMania, that I'm super excited for how they set up the year. And I trust Triple H and the writing staff to be creative, especially with what we just saw in fucking War Games, man. Like, they have really captured the hearts and soul with this bloodline angle, and to see where this is going to go, even with the Usos and Sammy, and where the tag division goes. Like, the tag division is going to be just as important as almost the world championship division because of this angle, because who's going to take the titles off the Usos? They're freaking, had the title for over the longest running tag team. So it's very
400
important.
400 days.
Over,
For-
yeah, well over. So I'm excited going into the year for those culminations coming up. But yeah, we'll talk more about that as the year, as the couple months, weeks go going.
Speaking of the tag team, our Book and Black, you know what I'm saying, is a tag team that
Mhm.
has made their return. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Montez.
Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins making a return of the Street Profits.
And boy, do they
Um,
look amazing.
They look, that boy Tez.
These boys
That
look
boy
amazing.
Tez. You want to talk to listen, this is what I'm saying, rehabbing, right? The
Mhm.
nigga had a calf injury. The nigga looked like he got 7 necks, nigga. Like the motherfucker to put on a neck on top of a neck.
Listen, you gotta do upper body when you got them calf
Neck,
injuries. All you
nigga,
gotta
like-
do is upper body.
He put on, and Dawkins got slimmer. I'm like, yo, these boys look real good right
Fresh.
now.
Yeah.
And they both added moves to their repertoire. I said, yo, that's the shit I like to see, man. You come back from an injury and you come back with some new shit. You come back looking fantastic.
Yeah,
Nah.
I think that we're. Go ahead.
Go ahead, CT.
No, just like we were saying, with the Roman, he gotta have them come after the bloodline too, because I think that's a WrestleMania spot too. I mean, I'm not sure if they'll do it at WrestleMania or prior, but the Street Profits coming back from that injury, getting that one, because they lost at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Their last match, and they need to overcome the Usos. That's their story. The Usos have been the thorn in their side. They cannot overcome the Usos, and until they do that, they ain't the top tag team. They're the twos, and I want to see that go on and see where they go with that. We still got the KO and Sammy dynamic that might play out in WrestleMania. Maybe they'll reunite if Sammy turns on them. Maybe we get Sammy versus Roman before WrestleMania, and he turns on the bloodline. I don't know, but there's so many ways that this can plan out that it's very interesting.
I kind of can see like Sammy is supposed to be the last line of defense in the Elimination Chamber. Sammy and KO, last line of defense, Elimination Chamber, and Sammy doesn't come through, and I can see where KO will sacrifice what he won for the Elimination Chamber to team up with Sammy to go after the Usos or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
If they turn, no, my bad. Go ahead. Finish.
Go. You said if they turn what?
If the bloodline ever turns on Sammy and really tears him apart, breaks rips his shirt, if I'm not sure if they're gonna use color, they did that, and KO came out to save him, the crowd is just hooked at that point, Or if Sami Zayn just somehow, KO versus Roman, and he, pulls the ref out the ring when Roman's about to cheat, the crowd's popping. No matter what they do with this, it's gonna work, and that's what's cool about it, But we do know that WrestleMania is around the corner, and we're gonna get something. So, and the ramifications of that being that you got KO in the main event, got Sammy in the main event, you got KO and Sammy that could possibly do tag team division with the Usos. It's so many layers to this, and then you got Solo, who's just been the enforcer. You got to go through him. So I just really am a fan of where we're at with the main angle in WWE, which is the main angle in wrestling to me. The bloodline is really it.
And even without Roman having to be on Raw, we was in the group chat. I mean, the main event between KO and Jay was crazy.
Yes,
Crazy.
Awesome. Main event Jay and KO killed it on Raw. So I just am really satisfied that you don't have to have the champion on the show for it to be a great Raw. And we were just like, yeah, it's cool. Whereas when Brock was kind of had a championship hostage, we're like, yeah, Raw wasn't it this week. Oh, SmackDown wasn't it this week. No, you guys have established people, so it's like, no, even if the championship's not there, we can still go and kill it. And they're letting people shine. They're letting people cook. They're letting Sammy go out there and say things on the mic that I'm sure Vince wouldn't have allowed him to, and to crack the Usos and make them laugh and all the things that they're doing. My dog, I love this shit. So We'll see where it goes, but all I know is that
Hey, dog.
trusting in Triple H is
Yeet.
gonna be epic. Yeet.
Yeet.
My dog. Uzi, man. He got the shirt feeling Uzi now. Yo.
And this is my thing. This is why wrestling is so fire and so organic. Cause when you move merch, nigga, like they gonna keep giving you that shit, nigga. Keep doing your thing. We'll scrap whatever the fuck we got going on, nigga. If you can make some bread, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like some unexpected money. Like, they don't have to do nothing. They already got the font.
Yeah.
It's the Bloodline font. They already got the black t-shirt with the red lake. That's it. And it's feeling Uzi. Oh, you want to pay $34.99 for this? Please. Thank you.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. And we'll get this shit out to you in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and realistically, like that is the nature of, you know, that's why we say business and logic, right? The logic of everything that we see creatively is always going to be stewed by the business. Whatever the fuck we thought that they was going to do for the storyline. Listen, if Cody never gets hurt, my nigga, I'm sorry, Cody, you got to go on the back burner, nigga. They feeling Uzi out here, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you got going. No matter how many times niggas want to hear your American Nightmare song, you can't sell no feeling Uzi shirts. Like,
I bet you if Cody didn't get hurt,
nigga, like,
I bet you if Cody didn't get hurt, he probably would have beat Roman for a championship at SummerSlam and had one of those belts on Raw. And he probably would have faced Brock Lesnar by now or been setting up Brock Lesnar. Yeah, but he wouldn't have needed to get or step on that Uzi stuff because they would have had his own thing over there on Raw. But at the same time, you're right. This is so overwhelmingly popular that it would be second. Everything Cody would have done would have been second to it. There's nothing he could do about that.
And now with that being said, you know, I kind of just feel like that realistically, at some point in time, you look at where we started this podcast, right? When we said we wanted black representation, black champions. WWE doesn't treat black people good enough. Yo, Bobby looking real strong right now. Bobby had a really great championship run, United States Championship run, Heavyweight Championship run. He had a black hurt business. Bianca's looking really strong. You know, shout out to the Samo niggas. You know what I'm saying? The Samoans. You know what I'm saying? You know, looking real strong. We talking about Street Profits, hopefully winning tag team title.
Yeah.
You know, the influence of I mean, listen, Apollo has won United States Championship, Intercontinental Championship. He's going down to NXT right now, trying to go for Carmelo, Wesley. I mean, like
Ricochet's, getting revived again, so they're using him.
You know, the half and half mocha latte. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really great to see the continuation, and it's not just the like once in a. Not to mention the long run of the New Day. Big E became world fucking champion. We was talking about that when we did our New Day.
That's another thing, man. New Year. I want to see Big E. I don't even need him to be in the ring. I mean, if your neck is, your career's over, thank you for everything you've done. I hope it's not. I hope we can see him wrestle one day, but I want him to be safe first and foremost. But him returning for the New Day in a vital moment, there's another moment that could happen that will just make the crowd go crazy.
Yeah.
So we got some things that we got lined up. Some things that you know that you got like tidbits and also Randy and Riddle, which is going to be simmering going into the new year, which you never know when Randy could come back and that could start be a feud and get Riddle over the hump to be the main event star he is. There's a lot there's to be excited for. Honestly, it's a super exciting moment.
I believe
we gotta do the Blackies, yo. We haven't done that.
Yes. Yo, what were the Blackies that we did that year? I gotta go back and listen to the episode and figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like
match of the year, I think we did women's superstar of the year, male superstar of the year, moment of the year. I'm not sure.
We gotta create a silhouette too that look like, you know what I'm saying, maybe like the Emmys or American Choice Award when the bitch got the afro, you know what I'm saying, or some
Oh
shit like
yeah,
that. Man. Like, I don't know.
but yeah, it's
Putting
been a
on
good year.
the pigtails, the Jada Pinkett box braids, nigga, something, you know.
You know what we gotta do is get that Evolution Ain't a Mystery shirt, and those silhouettes make it into a work. You know, but anything else we gotta touch
Oh,
on?
that's
Anything,
gonna be
any
so
business and
fire.
logic?
Nah, man. I literally think that the business and logic of what it is that's going on going into the fourth quarter of WWE and AEW, I think they are benefiting well from live events being back in effect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody being able to come, the live, the gates, the merch, everything like that is kind of pushing the culture forward as far as getting wrestlers back to where they needed to be. They look a little bit more comfortable. They look a little bit more it's a lot less panhandling on the internet now that niggas is getting money. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas is out able to go get that money. You know what I'm saying? States is
Money,
less.
money, money, money.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say realistically, WWE is gonna be in Buffalo for SmackDown. Ray, know you listening. Take your ass there. Okay.
Nah.
SmackDown's supposed to be crazy. You dig?
Yeah.
Sammy's supposed to be initiated into the bloodline, so they about to jump my nigga in. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have my nigga drink blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy.
Wait, when is this?
Friday. They gonna be
This
in
Friday?
Buffalo. Yes,
shit.
nigga. That's
Okay.
what
Yeah.
This
Okay.
nigga Westside Gun probably gonna be in Buffalo for SmackDown and then fly to Miami for Gumbazo, nigga. Like so.
That's the
That's
life,
gonna be
man.
something we look forward to see if my niggas show up there. But yeah, man, I think real life, like I said, WWE's hitting 31 new cities. You know what I mean? That's 31 new markets. That's 31 new live events. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So NXT's been doing live event circuits around here up in Lakeland and Winter Haven, where I'm at, and shit like
Okay,
that.
they're back and doing their thing.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
exactly. So I think the money flow, right? We're going to see the ability of people to have a really great livelihoods in wrestling. I think the importance of the television contracts, right? There's no more of that boom period where niggas was getting astronomical numbers and shit like that now. But I do believe that it's going to be I think it's going to be some type of situation where money's going to be able to generate more product. You know what I'm saying? More quality product, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what the fuck's going on with NWA. They need to defund NWA, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Just kill that shit already, man. It's just, God, you gotta put on Tyrus. Good lord, what's going on over there?
That ain't the business of logic in that, nigga. What the fuck?
Yeah, where's the logic and all that? But yeah, I'm the business is booming. That's all I gotta say. Listen,
Business is motherfucking booming.
If you're going into a different, if you're going to different, places they haven't done to do new shows, things are up. And like I said before, without Vince, there was always a risk of the stock market going down for the WWE because he's been in charge for so long as CEO. And I just want to give a big round of applause to Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Nick Khan for showing that you could do even better. Like you just went up. Now let's not take anything away from Vince, but I'm sorry, but losing a CEO can legitimately tank a company. But you guys have figured out a way to elevate it in the time of turmoil because it was, even though that we don't talk about it as much. It was.
Now with that being said, that was a horror. I got my generator and shit in the background. The hell I do. Now what I would like.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Not business logic, but next year we need Dominic versus Ray. Dominic versus Ray. That Thanksgiving spot, I loved it. He said he beat him up because he put his Christmas tree up too early. So shout out to that. We've been pulling up on him. It's like it's November, and he
I feel you, nigga. I'll be ready to, nigga. I'll be telling my wife, chill the fuck out, nigga. It's still
so shout out to Dominic and Rhea, mommy, going out there and beating the brakes off of Rey Mysterio on Thanksgiving.
Brakes off that nigga.
That was awesome. But anything else? That's all I want to give a shout out.
Nah, that's it, man. That's it, man. We had a really good show. Bills play. Okay, before we get out of
Oh,
here,
yeah,
before we get out of here, everything is wrestling, but we do talk sports. We do talk politics. We do
Let's
talk
go.
bitches. I'm sorry, no, we don't, wife. They talk bitches. Oh, we. I'm playing. Oh, no, I gotta get the jokes on. We get out of here. No, but listen, listen. We got a Jets fan, we got a Cowboys fan, we got a Bills fan in this group.
Listen, it's a good time for us, man. It's been hard for the past couple of years for all of us. I'll be honest with you, but we up this year.
It's been hard.
Yo, we up, man. Like it's been years since we could all say that. Honestly,
Yo,
the Bills
so-
a little
so-
more recent though.
So the Bills play tonight. The Bills play the Patriots tonight, and I have been consistently telling Rich that I believe that the Bills should be a good team, but they are a flawed team that needs to be able to play coherently so their flaws are not accentuated as much, right? Like the Cowboys. The Cowboys is a team that needs to get out and they need to score and don't sit on the ball because as you can see with a 2-touchdown lead, niggas can still run the ball on your ass and you can lose the game. So I mean, like the Jets are a flawed team. Do not play Zach Wilson. That is your only flaw. Anything else, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
And we're not anymore, so we
Zach
might be. It all depends on Mike White. We'll see where he does in the next two games. You got Vikings, you got the Bills. If he can pull out one of these games, Zach got to sit for the rest of the year.
This is why I brought it up. You guys play in the next 2 weeks. Realistically, I know Cheaty's gonna say what he's gonna say. I know what Rich is gonna say what he's gonna say. What is the fucking result?
Well, today the Bills and Pats. Let's first acknowledge that the Bills were crowned like Super Bowl contenders before the season even started.
Absolutely,
they should be in the Super Bowl this year. They should have beaten the Jets 3 weeks ago. But they didn't. So they should have beaten Miami. They didn't. So they are 0-2 in the division.
yes.
The Pats beat the Jets. So if the Jets is better than the Bills and the Pats beat us, what are they gonna do to y'all? So I'm just gonna say we'll see first. Y'all get through Pats to see if y'all can just take this out with us again in 2 weeks. So we'll see where that goes.
And before you comment, Rich, and I just want to and I understand because me and Rich Beats, we spend hours on the phone. Like, now what's this nigga? What's their record? Who they play next? What's their record? Like, it's impossible to kind of predict games. You know what I mean? It's damn near impossible to predict games. But realistically, when you guys played the Dolphins, you were very, very confident that the Bills, and they did very well. But that's what I'm saying. That's the flaw in the team, right? The confidence. And this is why I keep asking you. I remember I specifically asked you against the Jets and I asked you about the Vikings. He was like, "Man, I ain't worried about these niggas, cuz." And when they were losing in the game,
to be fair, rightfully so, he shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
But that's always been the thing. It's like, yo, I'm gonna stand on my opinion. It's like it's not a wrong take. It's like, yo, like I'm not worried. Yes, any given Sunday. That's on the other hand, right? It's like any given Sunday, anybody could beat anybody on any given Sunday. So yes, absolutely. But no, we shouldn't. We should. I'm on suicide watch if we lose tonight, nigga. Don't call me.
Listen, I'll call you.
Man.
I gotta make sure.
I'm in the Gulf somewhere. I'm out of here.
This nigga so many times.
Yo,
and that's the thing. So, and this is what's amazing, right? Cheaty was not expecting the Jets to be good.
that was not.
Nobody
They were the 32nd ranked defense last year.
Nobody
And we didn't have any idea what our quarterback was going to do. But this defense turned the fuck up this year. And I'm now
nobody expected the Bills to be 0-2 in the division.
Nobody
with 4
expected that
games
either.
to play going.
People
So
act like Josh Allen is the MVP over three weeks. Other people are talking about he's MVP. Listen, he can hurdle as many niggas as he wants. At the end of the day, you got to hand the ball if you got to run this shit. You're number one running back on your team. And you're number one running back on your team. At the end of the day, Josh Allen can't be the whole team.
I can't wait.
He cannot be the whole team.
I cannot wait to talk about this nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
This
Oh
is what
my
I'm
God.
saying.
The
This is
machismo that is oozing through this chat right now.
what I'm saying. This
Oh
is
my
what I'm
God.
saying. Because
Oh my God.
you can't be mad. He is y'all. You give them a little bit of inch, right? The Bills have not been good. This is what I'm saying. Listen, I've been on that couch with you, cuz on Dartmouth, when Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback. Okay. And I understand how you went through plenty of Sundays, and by the third quarter, your ass is into noir promo mode because the game is over. The game is over. So for you to be as confident and cocky as you are as a Bills fan, that's the mirror. That cheating is the mirror looking at your ass, brother. Because he's not supposed to be this good.
I'm not.
You lost to these niggas. You lost to these niggas already. So they got so much confidence, my nigga.
Listen, man. Listen. I already said any given Sunday, man. Hey, even the garbage can gets to state. The broken clock is right 2 times a day, my nigga. I can't wait for you motherfuckers to come to Buffalo, is all I'm saying.
Ooh, okay.
I cannot wait.
Oh,
We about to shellac the Patriots tonight. I don't give a fuck about no Billy B. Okay, he ain't had Josh number in the past 4-5 games. The only win they got was in the blizzard. They was like, nah, we just gonna run it. They just had a better game plan. Listen, we gonna get them out the way. Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you, nigga.
Listen, I don't believe in Mac Jones. I honestly thought the Bills were the best team in the division coming in. Now I'm not sure. I mean, in Miami looking kind of strong these days. But now my Jets if we figured out our quarterback situation, it's a wrap for all y'all. I'm telling you guys right now. Listen, we beat y'all already. And then Mike White in the rain threw for like 350 yards last week. And our defense is already stacked. So we will see in a couple of weeks of what we're going to do in Buffalo, because Sauce is still on the team, and Sauce picked off Josh Allen already. So we'll see what he can do.
A game-winning pick, too. A walk-off game-winning pick, too. Like,
pretty much sealed it for us.
Yeah, that was real cute. Real cute.
And all I care about is being right, because at the beginning of the year, I picked the Dolphins to go to the Super Bowl, and here they are looking like the top of the division, and I just need the Jets to play spoiler. I'm rooting for chaos. I'm rooting for chaos right now, brother.
Listen, man, we beat Miami already, and when we see them again at the end of the season, last game of the season, it might be the reason that we go into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. So we'll see what goes down. Goes down.
I'm telling you right now, if the fucking Jets win the division, bro.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. It will be the best day of our lives.
You can't even say that.
It'll be the best day.
That shit with a straight face. You can't even say it with a straight face.
But the fact,
win the division. You can't even say it with a straight face. You can't even. The Jets fan, you can't even say it with
the fact that you can
legitimately. You say it with a straight face.
The Jets are going to win the division.
Straight face, though.
Listen, here's the thing.
It's a serious combo.
Let the Bills lose today, and let Miami lose to San Francisco. Looks really nice with Jimmy right now, and we're number 1 already. So all we gotta do is control our fate and keep our defense stacked the way it's been all week. We're not losing people like Von Miller. We actually got a real D.
That's true.
At the end of the day,
that's true.
We just gotta stay healthy.
You giving up all the what ifs on the other teams. What if y'all don't get past Minnesota this upcoming week? Y'all got to get past the Vikings first, and then you got to come in the Orchard Park. Then you got to come in the Orchard Park. Then you got to come in the Orchard Park. I'm more scared of the
Vikings than I am the Bills right now.
Jets Jackson Bills might be a prime time fucking game, nigga, for the division going
It
into
might be.
week 17, nigga.
It might
Yo,
be.
it's all about Mike White. If he throws a couple picks this week, then I'll come back here and I'll apologize because the narrow season pretty much over. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean,
If he
right,
starts
as
throwing
of
picks-
as of where it stands, he looked great right now.
yeah,
But
so
we got to see it 2-3 games.
we gotta
straight.
see it. These next 2 games are the test of pretty much our whole team because our defense is already set. Our offense, if it can get cooking in these next 2 games and win these 2 games, the league got a problem because we're young. The next 2 years is our Super Bowl window. Next 2 years is the Jets Super Bowl window. I'm just saying it right now. Don't say I didn't tell y'all. I'm telling y'all early. So I'm just saying it. Let's go. Let's go. We're a young team. We're gonna be good for a long time. You got Sauce, DJ Reed, Quentin Williams. Like, what's up? What we need is that QB.
This is why I brought it up so we can have this on tape, on camera, so this could be a flashback in the past.
Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll come and tell you. I'm like, yeah, man, okay. But hey, listen,
Man.
I thought the Jets were going to win 7 games this whole year.
Let me simply get through tonight, okay? I need to get past my New England fans. That's on my ass right now. Let me get through the night, okay?
Yo, we need a roundtable pod for sports, yo, for real. And I'll bring all the stats. But yeah, we should do this again. But for real, if you guys are fans of the game, y'all tune in tonight. Bills, Patriots. I don't have the channel, but I'll keep up on my phone and see because I think it's on Apple. Is it?
Amazon.
Amazon, one of those two.
Yeah.
But we'll be in a group chat. Don't worry.
Yes, we will, and we might have to do an emergency pod if the Bills lose tonight. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
We gotta check on our guy, man. Rich. We
gonna live suicide watch call this nigga like 911
live stream.
You go to 127.
No, man, but even if they lose tonight, the Bills still a good team, and we just gotta see them clean it up, and they gotta hold it down for the rest of the stretch,
Man, man, we this is a good show. I want to thank everybody one time now before we get out of here. I just want to thank everybody who tunes into the show. I gotta do the end of the year type of joints that we be doing on like Spotify and shit like that. But I just want to let y'all know from SoundCloud, y'all niggas really be supporting us. You know what I'm saying? All over the world. So over the past year, I just want to give a quick shout out to our top locations. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We've got play all of course in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Columbus, Ohio, Ashburn. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Ashburn, Washington. You know what I'm saying? We got love out in Frankfurt, Dublin. You know what I'm saying? Brussels, Moscow. You know what I'm saying? We got love out in Singapore, Cairo. You know what I'm saying? We got love out in motherfucking Paris. We got love out in Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Like those. So I just want to say thank you everybody who supported us throughout. And I don't even know who the fuck listening to us out there. But
thank you for the support. We're thankful for everybody that listens to us. And we're thankful for you, Rich, for being day one and being here with us today. Everybody who supported us along the way. And continue, because we'll be here to talk more wrestling. All's love, everything's wrestling. Check out eiwshop.com for your everything's wrestling hoodie. Ultra soft. This is so fucking comfortable though. But y'all check it out and get one for your own. You gotta get your own, brother.
Fuck with your boys, because we the ones.
We the ones.
We the ones. We out. Peace.